Ladies and gentlemen, in the time of Prophet Musa, as a man was blessed with wealth beyond imagination, yet pride filled his heart. He claimed his riches were from his own knowledge, forgetting Allah's favor. When warned, he turned arrogant. So Allah caused the earth to swallow him and his treasures. A lesson to all: wealth is a test, not the sign of honor. True success lies in gratitude and humility before Allah. In the time of Prophet Musa, peace be upon him, there lived a man among the children of Israel who was granted immense wealth. His name was Qaroon. He was not an outsider, he was from the very people of Musa, and at one point, he was even known for his knowledge and piety. But as Allah opened the doors of worldly riches to him, something began to change in his heart. What once was a heart inclined toward truth and gratitude became hardened with arrogance and pride. Allah granted him treasures so vast that the keys to his storehouses were burdensome even for strong men to carry. It was said that just the keys themselves were too heavy to be lifted by a group of strong people. The wealth he possessed was beyond measure. Gold, silver, jewels, and all forms of riches were at his disposal. But instead of showing gratitude to the one who gave it, he boasted. Instead of helping the needy, he lived in excess. Instead of acknowledging Allah's blessings, he claimed, "This has been given to me only because of knowledge I possess." This statement revealed the disease in his heart. He believed that it was his own intelligence, his own strategy, his own merit that had brought him this wealth. He disconnected the favor from the one who gave it. He forgot that Allah is the one who gives wealth and takes it, who elevates and who humbles, who bestows favor upon whom he wills and withholds from whom he wills. Wealth, in itself, is neither a reward nor a punishment. It is a test of the heart, a test of faith, a test of character. When the righteous people among his community reminded him, they said, "Do not exalt, for Allah does not love the exultant, and seek by means of what Allah has given you the hereafter, and do not forget your share of the world, and do good as Allah has done good to you, and desire not corruption in the land. Indeed, Allah does not like corrupters." These were words of advice, of sincere counsel, calling him to reflect and to return to humility. But he turned away. The pride in his heart made him deaf to wisdom. He saw himself as untouchable, as superior, as someone above reproach. So he walked among the people showing off his wealth. He displayed his garments, his riches, his pomp, and luxury, hoping to incite envy and admiration. Some among the people, those who longed for the world, wished they had what he had. They said, "Oh, if only we had what Qaroon has been given. He is indeed a man of great fortune." But the people of knowledge, those who feared Allah, reminded them, "Woe to you! The reward of Allah is better for those who believe and do righteous deeds, and none will attain that except those who are patient." Then came the moment when the test reached its peak. Allah, in his justice and wisdom, caused the earth to swallow Qaroon along with his home and all his wealth. Everything he had taken pride in, everything he had hoarded, everything he had shown off to others, all of it was taken in an instant. The earth split beneath him and he was buried within it. No one could save him. No amount of gold could ransom him. No human strength or intellect could reverse his fate. And the very people who had once wished for what he had now looked upon his destruction and said, "It is indeed Allah who enlarges the provision for whom he wills and restricts it. Had Allah not favored us, he could have caused the earth to swallow us too." Oh, indeed, the disbelievers will never succeed. Thus, the story of Qaroon remains a timeless reminder that wealth, no matter how great, is not a sign of Allah's pleasure, nor a guarantee of success in this life or the next. What matters is how one uses that wealth, whether it brings a person closer to Allah or farther away. This story teaches us that the real treasure is not gold or silver, but faith, humility, and gratitude. The true richness is not in possessions but in the heart that bows to its creator. When a person begins to believe that their success is solely due to their own effort, they fall into the same delusion that Qaroon did. They forget that every ability, every breath, every opportunity comes from Allah. We are merely caretakers of what Allah allows us to hold temporarily. Islam doesn't condemn wealth. Islam encourages earning, spending in whole ways, and using wealth for good. But Islam warns against arrogance, against forgetting the poor, and against using wealth as a tool for pride or corruption. The moment wealth leads a person to think they are self-sufficient, better than others, or independent of Allah, that wealth becomes a danger rather than a blessing. The lesson of Qaroon is not just about the punishment of arrogance, but also the contrast between those who are dazzled by the dunya and those who see with the light of faith. It's about the value of righteous company and those who will remind us not to be deluded by temporary glamour, and those who will call us back to Allah when we begin to drift. The dunya is a fleeting shadow. Today, a person may walk proud with riches, and tomorrow they may be under the earth with nothing. What remains are deeds in how wealth was earned, how it was spent, and whether it softened or hardened the heart. This is why the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, warned us against being impressed by a person's external wealth or status. He said that Allah does not look at your bodies or your forms, but He looks at your hearts and your deeds. When the heart is filled with pride, it becomes blind. But when the heart is filled with humility and gratitude, even a small amount of wealth becomes a source of blessing. Wealth, then, is a responsibility. It can be a means of great reward through charity, kindness, supporting family, helping the community, or it can be a path to destruction, if used to oppress, to boast, or to forget Allah. Qaroon had the chance to use his wealth for good. He had the opportunity to earn the reward of the hereafter by spending in the path of Allah. But he chose pride, and he became a sign for generations. True success is a concept that many people throughout history have debated and sought to define. In this world, success is often measured by material wealth, status, or power. Society frequently rewards those who acquire vast riches or those who rise to positions of prominence. However, in Islam, and more specifically in the teachings of the Quran and the example of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, true success is not defined by material possessions or worldly achievements. Instead, true success is found in humility and gratitude, the qualities that draw one closer to Allah and allow one to live a life filled with purpose, contentment, and eternal reward. In our fast-paced world, it is easy to be swayed by the allure of wealth and success as they are portrayed in media, advertising, and the lifestyles of the rich and famous. We are constantly bombarded with messages that tell us that material possessions are the ultimate measure of success. Having a large house, expensive cars, designer clothes, and the latest gadgets are seen as indicators of achievement. The pursuit of these things often becomes the driving force in people's lives, leading them to make countless sacrifices, whether it be in their time, their relationships, or even their values. But in the teachings of Islam, we are reminded that wealth and material possessions are not permanent, and they are certainly not the true measures of success. The Quran reminds us that this world is fleeting, and everything in it is temporary. Allah says in Surah Al-Hadid, 57 hours 20 minutes, know that the life of this world is but play and amusement, a thing of boastful rivalry among you, and a thing of competition in increase of wealth and children. But Allah's reward is better and more lasting. This verse highlights the fact that the things we often chase, worldly possessions, are not what will lead to lasting happiness or fulfillment. Instead, Allah urges us to seek His reward, which is eternal and far more valuable than anything this world can offer. True success, then, lies not in the accumulation of wealth but in the pursuit of righteousness, contentment, and gratitude for the blessings Allah has already given us. The concept of humility is central to understanding true success in Islam. Humility is the opposite of arrogance and pride, two traits that are often associated with those who have amassed great wealth. Humility in Islam is the recognition that everything we have comes from Allah and that we are nothing without His mercy. It is the understanding that no matter how much wealth, knowledge, or power we may accumulate, we are still dependent on Allah for our every breath, for the sustenance we receive, and for our well-being. Humility is recognizing that all of our blessings are gifts from Allah, and in that recognition, we are compelled to remain humble, regardless of our material status. The story of Qaroon, or Korah, mentioned in the Quran, serves as a powerful reminder of the dangers of arrogance and pride in the face of wealth. Qaroon was a man who was blessed with immense riches. His wealth was so great that the keys to his storehouses could not be carried by a group of strong men. Yet, instead of acknowledging Allah as the source of his prosperity, he became arrogant and boastful. He believed that his wealth was the result of his own intelligence and hard work, and he refused to be humble or show gratitude to Allah. When Prophet Musa, peace be upon him, advised him to be humble and to use his wealth for good, Qaroon turned away in pride, claiming that he deserved his riches because of his own abilities. Allah punished Qaroon by causing the earth to swallow him, his wealth, and his entire household. The story of Qaroon serves as a reminder that wealth should never lead a person to arrogance. It is a test from Allah, and if it causes a person to become proud, it can lead to their downfall. Humility is essential to true success because it keeps us grounded and reminds us of our dependence on Allah. Humility allows us to approach life with a sense of gratitude and contentment, regardless of our material circumstances. Gratitude, or shukr, is another central concept in Islam that is closely tied to true success. Gratitude is the recognition and acknowledgement of Allah's blessings. It is the understanding that everything we have, via our health, our wealth, our family, and our sustenance, comes from Allah, and we are grateful for it. Gratitude is not just about expressing thanks in words, it is about showing appreciation through our actions. It is reflected in how we use the blessings Allah has given us, whether it be in our dealings with others, in our acts of charity, or in our worship. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was the epitome of gratitude. Despite the hardships he faced, he always expressed gratitude to Allah for his mercy and blessings. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "If you are grateful, I will certainly give you more." Quran 14:7. This promise from Allah emphasizes the importance of gratitude and how it leads to further blessings. Gratitude, therefore, is not only a way of showing thanks to Allah but also a way of attracting even greater blessings into our lives. True success is found in the balance between humility and gratitude. Humility ensures that we do not become proud or arrogant, while gratitude allows us to recognize and appreciate the blessings we have. In this balance, we find peace and contentment, regardless of the material circumstances of our lives. Wealth may come and go, but true contentment comes from a heart that is humble and thankful for whatever Allah has provided. We can see examples of true success in the lives of the prophets and the righteous. Despite their high status in the eyes of Allah, they remained humble and grateful for the blessings they received. Prophet Abraham, and his family were tested with great trials, yet they were always thankful to Allah. Prophet David, despite being a king, remained humble and expressed gratitude for the blessings he received. Their humility and gratitude are models for us to follow. In contrast, those who chase after wealth and success for the sake of pride or competition may achieve temporary satisfaction, but they are ultimately left empty and unfulfilled. The Quran warns against becoming too attached to the dunya, worldly life, as it distracts us from our true purpose, to worship Allah and live righteous lives. Allah says in Surah At-Tawbah 9:24, "Say, if your fathers, your sons, your brothers, your wives, your relatives, the wealth you have acquired, the trade you fear decline, and the dwellings you are pleased with are dearer to you than Allah and His Messenger and striving in His cause, then wait until Allah executes His command." This verse emphasizes the importance of prioritizing our faith and our relationship with Allah over everything else. True success lies in making Allah our priority, in humbling ourselves before Him, and in showing gratitude for everything He has given us. This is the path that leads to true peace, contentment, and eternal success.